The Progressive Era was a period of social activism and political reform across the United States. This occurred from the 1890s to the 1920s, and the main objectives of this movement were eliminating problems caused by industrialization, urbanization, immigration, and corruption in government. The Progressive Era occurred in reaction to the extreme corruption, workplace conditions, and injustice of the Gilded Age. Some issues of the Gilded Age included disparity of wealth, workers' rights, working conditions, poverty, and racial discrimination. There were four main goals of reformers during the Progressive Era. These goals included to protect social welfare, promote moral improvement, create economic reform, and foster efficiency. Protecting social welfare. During this time period, industrialization was unregulated and employers felt little responsibility toward their workers. It was important to improve working conditions in industry, regulate unfair business practices, eliminate child labor, and help immigrants and the poor. Promote moral development. Some reformers felt that the answer to society's problems was personal behavior, and they proposed such reforms as prohibition. Prohibition was promoted by the Dry Crusaders, a movement led by Royal Protestants and social progressives in the Democratic and Republican parties, and was coordinated by the Anti-Saloon League and the Women's Christian Temperance Union. An example of such prohibition is the Women's Christian Temperance Union, which was a group wishing to ban alcohol. Create economic reform. It was important during this time that there needed to be more fairness and opportunity in the work world, regulate unfair trusts, and bring about changes in labor. Goals during this time were to demonstrate to the common people that the U.S. government is in charge and not the industrialists. The Panic of 1893 prompted some Americans to question the capitalist economic system. Some workers even embraced socialism. Fostering efficiency. Many progressive leaders put their faith in scientific principles to make society better. In industry, Frederick Taylor began using time and motion studies to improve factory efficiency. There were many other regulations enacted in the Progressive Era. These included regulations of industrialists, such as limitation of working hours of women and children, regulations of the food and drug industry, as in restrictions placed on the content and labeling of food and drugs, regulations of developers and owners of rental properties. This included housing codes and development of zoning laws to govern construction, regulations of politicians, protections for immigrants, protections for women, development of fire codes, regulations of taverns and distilleries, regulations of immigration, regulation of banks, regulations governing professional activities, public health regulations, working hours of women and children, and working hours of federal employees. The Progressive Era was a turning point in creating a more activist government because the rapid industrialization of the late 1800s had created various problems that needed fixing, and because it created a middle class with the means and the desire to push government to fix those problems.